Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jennifer and this is Pray Girl. Before we get started, I would like to thank you for choosing to join me on my video today and also ask you as a very special favor that if you find any of this useful, you give it a thumbs up, you subscribe, you comment, or you share, or all of them. I'm not used to having a YouTube channel, so it feels really weird to say that still, but I do know that doing all of those things just helps this video reach more people, and my goal is to be able to help others with the experience and wisdom that I've acquired out of being married for 8 years and being a missionary and also being a mom. So if you find this helpful at all, please be sure to do that. I would really appreciate it. And again, thank you so much for joining me. I'm really excited about this video because I'm actually going to go on a date with my husband, bring you guys along, and then we're going to share goals that we wrote down. I don't know his and he doesn't know mine, and we're gonna get to share them with each other and with you guys at the same time. They may differ a lot when we come together and share them with you guys. We need to embrace and rejoice in our differences because they're meant to complement our relationship and balance it out. So I divided the goals into 3 categories: personal goals, couple goals, and goals as a family. In James 4:14, we see that we really don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, and we have no control over that. But setting goals in our relationship really help us have like a focus point, and then it gives us common ground. It allows us both to have a sense of direction. I think that sometimes when I don't know what my husband's goals are and I have my own set of goals, we don't know where we're headed, and that just doesn't feel stable. Getting married is already a huge goal that I feel we all look forward to accomplishing since we're old enough to understand the concept of marriage. When we finally do get married and we achieve that goal, we can fall into feeling complacent and just getting stuck, because God willing, after marriage, life does continue. Like I mentioned earlier, we really have no control over what's going to happen tomorrow, and we know that. But it's still super important to set our goals, submit them onto the Lord, and then let Him guide our family as we're journeying through this life. Okay, I think it's time to go on our date. I'm so excited to bring you guys along. And I just wanted to say that I truly love making these videos for you. So if you have any comments, any suggestions, I'd really love to hear from you. They're always welcome. And then without further ado, let's go. Hey guys, it's 4:24 right now. And I just want to encourage all of you that it doesn't have to be nighttime for it to be a date night. We're just so excited that we get to spend time together, alone together, and we know that that's just going to fuel our relationship. So we're excited to go. I'm vlogging, so I hope I'm doing a good job at it. We're here! You guys, we are literally surrounded by people. So my husband is so embarrassed. He's so shy. And he's just so embarrassed, but he's still doing this with me, so I gotta give him his props and tell him that I was so blessed by him, and I appreciate him. I appreciate you so much. You know what you're ordering?
Santa Fe burger.
The Santa Fe burger. That's always like a favorite. Are you sure you don't want to venture and get something else?
Nope.
No. We usually find something we like and we just stick to it for a long time.
So I take it off.
What am I getting? You want to tell them?
Same burger.
Ketchup. And my husband likes. You gonna pray now? Okay, let's do it. I feel fairly satisfied. What about you? Oh, he said bye. Bye. Thank you. It says chivalry instead.
We'll do it like that.
Okay.
Alrighty.
It's windy! Hey baby, are you feeling a little adventurous, maybe?
Sure.
You want to share a deep dark secret? What is the worst date you've ever been on?
For the first birthday we were ever together, Jenny and I took her to a restaurant that we were really excited to go to and we thought was very fancy at the time. And she was sick the whole time.
Oh my goodness, I forgot about that.
I don't forget. Elephants never forget.
I don't know that that's a good story. It was my birthday, right?
Yeah, well, we got married in June and your birthday was the following February, so.
Did we have a good time though?
Yeah.
We did? Okay, because I don't remember much. I was really, really sick. What is the best date you've ever been on?
Well, your last birthday we went on a date almost every day, multiple times.
Oh yes! Those
So we
dates were awesome.
We went to Las Vegas and her mom was also there. So she babysat
Free babysitter.
and we were just going through a bunch of restaurants.
It's really cold out there. We were planning on like walking around and stuff, but I don't think that's gonna be possible anymore. But I did want to tell you guys this, since we're on a date now, that usually I'm the one initiating hugs and holding his hand and kisses and stuff, and I just think it's important to note that he enjoys it so much when I initiate it, but that just doesn't come very naturally to him. So I just want to encourage you, if it comes to you, if God puts it in your heart, don't be afraid to initiate. Don't be afraid to initiate.
Oh, I'm not afraid.
So we're trying to get set up. That looks good. Oh, yeah, let me show it. Oh, so sorry. That's your phone. Hey guys, now we're gonna get to the good stuff, and we're really excited to share our goals with each other and with you.
Sounds good.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you what your first personal goal is.
To create more resources. So I have side projects. So my personal goal is to do more YouTube videos and work on my podcast a little bit more consistently.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
It's gonna have you list your goals, and then we can expand on them afterwards.
Okay.
So first goal was create more resources.
And then my second goal is to improve my vocabulary, both in English and in Spanish, because I tend to stutter a lot when I'm speaking Spanish, most of the time. And then in English, I still stutter, but at least that's just self-doubt.
It's not vocabulary.
It's not vocabulary.
Okay, and then third?
My third goal was to be more consistent with working out.
Awesome. Well, those sounds like good goals, Misael. So now what I wanted to ask you was, how do you plan to achieve those goals, and how can I help you make those goals more achievable?
At least for myself, I feel like a lot of the time, one of the things that stops me from working more consistently towards my goals is that I get very distracted very easily. So you'll already help me with like giving me some time and from the kids in that sense. So you're already helping me. And then for the vocabulary in Spanish, I have a few books that I've acquired over the years in Spanish. So I've started reading one of them, and I just need to be more consistent about reading in Spanish so that I get better at speaking Spanish.
Okay, and I'm going to stop you right there, because I want to know if you would want me to remind you that you should be reading it, or to encourage you to read it, because I want to be a help to you, but I also understand that sometimes it's more help not to help. So you feel comfortable with me telling you and reminding you, or should I just mind my own business?
Reminders are good.
Okay, because I think so too, but I want us to feel comfortable with each other and know like what our boundaries are. So, okay, good. Reminders are good. Okay, and then?
And I guess the only other thing would be that I just have to study more, because my podcast and YouTube channel kind of require me to study. And
yes, I know.
And I have to study, and then I just have to find some time to record. But I know we've talked about that, and we're both working on it.
Yes. You guys, before we continue, if this is a weird angle, I'm sorry. And we are like watching each other on the camera there, because turning to each other like at this angle is just kind of weird. Okay, so moving on, I'll do mine, guys. My first personal goal is just to have more Bible time with the Lord in the morning it's two things in one goal, because I want to start getting up earlier, and then it's also really important to me to cultivate that time with God. So I want to read the Bible more, and I think that the morning is a perfect time to do it. For those reasons, that's my first goal. Now, my second is to post on YouTube every other week. This will be my third video that I'll be posting. I wanted to set an attainable goal for myself. So that's why I didn't say to post every week, just because editing takes so long and I'm not good at it yet. Coming up with the content, it's also really hard, and it's something that I don't have a ton of experience in yet, but I do want to post consistently. So that's why I'm saying every other week I want to post. And then my third goal would be to go to the gym at least 3 times a week. And again, to me, that's setting the bar kind of low, because I did used to go 4 times a week and sometimes even 6 times a week. But I want to start off with going at least 3 times a week. So those are my 3 personal goals. Do you have any questions for me?
Well, yeah. How can I help you achieve them?
Starting off with the first one, having Bible time with the Lord in the morning. If you want to wake up with me, if you want to get up with me and also do that, I think that would be great incentive for me, and it would just feel so nice to do it with you rather than doing it by myself. So that's one way that if you wanted to, you could help just by participating. My second goal, to post more on YouTube. I think that it's really important for me to just have time to be able to record. A big way that you could help, if we could establish just a time, let's say, you guys, I have no experience with posting, so I'm still really bad at just recording myself. But just, when I came to you, I'll come to you for sure. I'll come to you with time, and I'll let you know, hey, I'm thinking about recording this day. Do you think you could keep the kids out of the way for a little while I record? And that would be a big help. The third one, baby, you're already paying for my membership, and I appreciate it so much. You're such a good provider. So I will say this though, it does make me feel like I want to work out more and I want to please you more when you affirm me, when you tell me that I'm beautiful. It just makes me want to look more beautiful, not only for myself, but for you. So that would be a big help too. So, okay, now let's move on to couple goals. I'm so excited to hear these.
Okay, so these are, just to clarify, for myself as well, these are where we want our relationship to be and
Yes.
go. Okay, so with that in mind, my first one was improve communication, because I think that we still sometimes have areas where we don't communicate clearly, and that might just be an issue that I'm having more, but sometimes after we kind of get into a discussion, or we start addressing a misunderstanding, it's not until we've talked more about it that we realize that that's not what we meant, or that we meant something else. So improve communication. I also want to have more dates. I found out recently that my wife's definition of date is a different definition of date for me. So I want to have more dates where we both feel we're on a date.
I love you.
Where we both feel we're on a date. And number 3, I want to collaborate more on projects. I think that even in our personal goals, I said, well, I'll work on some stuff while you watch the kids, and you'll work on stuff while I watch the kids, was one of yours. So I would like us to work together more, and hopefully we can figure something out moving forward that will allow us to work together more on stuff that's not with the kids.
Yeah. Those goals are amazing to me. I love them. And let me just say, before I ask whatever I'm going to ask you, that, baby, whatever you need, I am happy to collaborate with you 100% anytime.
I appreciate it, and I want to work with you too, so sounds good.
Okay, awesome. How do you plan to achieve these goals? What are you going to do in your part? And then how can I help you?
For the communicate better, for me, for example, I just have to be more clear about what it is that I mean, so that we don't figure out what it was that I meant later in the conversation. So
That's so Good.
Yeah, I think we just like, even when I said about the dates right now, we had different definitions. And so in my mind, we have been on many dates, and in your mind, those dates that were to me didn't stand out the same way to you. So just kind of maybe defining our concepts a little bit better and our language, establishing it a little bit better. So for good communication. And then for my second goal of, what was my second goal?
Have more dates. And your first goal was to improve communication. So now you're on your third goal.
Okay, I think it's all the same thing, I guess. We just have to try and figure out our time slots a little bit better. I think a routine maybe for the kids would help,
Yes,
or at least like,
I agree.
because I know we have a routine, kind of get home from church.
But more rigid.
Yeah, a little bit more.
Yeah,
We have to figure that out a little bit better.
our daughter goes to sleep as soon as we get home from
The evening service.
Yeah, but our baby, he is currently going through a phase where he can't go to sleep without me. So that's really hard on all of us, it feels like. But yes, I agree. 100%. We'll work on that. That's so exciting.
What are your couple goals?
Let's move on. The first one's really important to me. And it's just that I want us to pray together more often. I tend to pray every night before I go to sleep. And I also pray in the mornings when I get up. And I feel like a couple who prays together stays together. So I don't know. I just wanted to make that invitation to you. And I would love us to pray as a couple more often. So that's my first
Sounds good.
couple goal. And then the second one is to learn to speak each other's language to communicate better. And so we're on the same page. I think that
or on different pages, trying to get on the same page.
Third couple goal, I want to have more connection. I love having deep and meaningful conversations with you. I was just telling you a few days ago I was having like anxiety and just felt really stressed, but the conversation that we had when I finally opened up to you and told you how I was feeling and what I was going through was so helpful to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's
I think it's a good goal. Okay, Brother Misael, what are your family goals?
Well, Sister Jenny. I think that before I mention these, I put a lot of my non-developmental goals here because, like I said in the interview video, the Q&A video, for me, family is the reason I have a job and the reason I do a lot of things, because it's in support and for my family. So that's why these videos are these goals are here in this video.
Gotcha.
I put consistency in our prayers, which you said as a relationship goal, pray together, and I want to be a little bit more spiritual and biblically sound with our whole family, especially because our daughter is getting older now. So just being a little bit more consistent in Bible readings, prayer, attendance, things like that. And then goal number 2 is practice more Spanish, because our daughter refuses to speak Spanish. Even when we tell her a word that she has not heard yet in English, she knows we're telling her the word in Spanish, and she's like, yeah, but how do you say it in English?
She does.
So
she's so good at that.
She identifies Spanish words and wants the English version of the word. So it's I think it's been a little bit more difficult for us because our prayer services were like the biggest Spanish in our daily lives, but now we have a lot more English services.
Yes, which is good.
Yeah, that's
Praise
good,
God.
but we just have to be a little bit more on top of, as a family, practicing our Spanish. So I guess the goal would be to have better Spanish.
Yeah, to just have more discipline. It would be just to have more discipline in incorporating Spanish in our home, so our daughter can hear, and it's a good practice for us too. That's a really good goal.
The third goal is vacation. So I think that in order to go on more vacations, because we've been wanting to take our daughter to like Disneyland, and
I want to go to Disneyland too.
So because we want to do that, I feel like having the goal is what makes the being a little bit more frugal worth it, and it kind of helps you through like denying yourself a thing or two every once in a while, so because you're working towards something. So
Yeah.
that's a goal for the family, to just go out a little bit more as a family, so cut
Okay.
back in other areas, I guess.
Family effort.
No more
Alrighty.
gas in the car.
How can I help you with these? These are awesome goals.
Well, I think that the one.
I think I'll change the question actually for this one.
Mm-hmm.
How can we come together as a family and make these goals a reality?
I think that setting some ground rules would help a lot. Like
Okay.
for the practicing Spanish, if we're not doing it at church because we're holding English services, or if we're not really doing it anywhere, then specifically like targeted Spanish practice, then I think we just have to figure out like whether we're going to do it through books or just daily conversations, which I think a mix would be ideal.
Yeah.
And then for the consistency in prayer, I think you already do like all that you can do. Food is ready before the prayer service begins and things like that. And
So I agree with you that I do my part. How can we come together as a family to make that more achievable?
I don't know.
Oh, come on. We have to have if we want
well,
this to work, we have to have a plan.
we're gonna come together as a family, so we just go like, all right, family, let's go to church.
Full disclosure, that's also one of my family goals. What I had thought up was name one day a week that's
Okay.
gonna be like Bible day, and I think that that's like starting the bar off low, because I already have like Bible time for 15 minutes or 30 minutes sometimes with Genezareth, where we'll do like a Bible story. With that said, because I don't have like a day set, some days I don't do it at all, and it's just not very, I don't know, it's not very disciplined. So I think that setting the bar off low and just saying, let's just start off with one day. Just one day a week where we're going to get together as a family and do 15 minutes, because I think that that's about how long it takes to like talk to her specifically about a story in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
David versus Goliath, all of those stories, they're usually short stories. So 15 minutes every Friday before she goes to sleep. How does that sound?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Consistency or attending prayers is just do it. I know that I've told you about someone I love. I think her name is Mel. If you guys want motivation, watch her. She's so good. Mel Robbins. She has this thing where she counts backwards from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't let yourself think about it, but just do it. When you get home, the food's made. Everything is set to go. It's just doing it. And I just want to say, guys, we do go to church. Go to church almost every day, but we don't want to miss church. So these goals are meant to help our family move forward and not get stuck and not feel complacent with where we are right now, but just help us to keep moving in the right direction. Okay, so now moving on to my family goals. The first one was exactly what he said, having Bible time. Yep, have at least one Bible night per week with our children. And then the second one was be more consistent with attending prayers. To me, that means not missing a single day of the week. The last one was praying together as a family. And I think that's so important because I love seeing how our 1-year-old already prays with me. Sometimes I'll kneel down during my day just because I feel like there's something that I want to tell God, or I just remember that you're at work and Genezareth's at school, and I'll kneel down and he'll kneel down with me and pray. And our little girl, remember when she dislocated her arm and how she wanted to pray the week after her arm was healed? She told everybody that she was grateful with God, or she was grateful to God because he healed her arm. So I've seen the power of leading our kids by example, and we want them to be persons in the future who also trust God and who are also, people who believe in prayer. So those are my 3 goals, and I think just doing it.
Yeah, that's the key to a lot of things. You just have to go after them.
Well, this is it. We have to go home and relieve our babysitter. 30 degrees outside. Also, we have low tire pressure. That usually happens when does that happen, baby?
When it's hot and then it's cold.
When it's hot and then it's cold. So the beginning of winter.
It happens to all your cars. So if you're not putting air in your cars when winter comes, your tires are low.
You guys, if you like these tips, just keep following me. I don't know, what do people usually say?
Like and subscribe.
Oh yeah, like and subscribe. That feels so weird to say. And we are home, praise God. Our date is so nice. It's so nice to go out and have a date together, and it feels so nice to also come home and see our children. So I'm really excited about that. Misael, before our date is completely over, I just have one question for you. Will you please give me some sugar? How do you think that went?
Good.
Me too. I'm excited about our goals.
So to put my jacket back on.
It's so cold.